Hi everybody! Welcome back to our little reading time together, and welcome back to my backyard. As you can see, we like the cozy, shady look. Anyway, we just finished chapter 2, and right before this will be chapter 3, A Mysterious Invader. So Hannah has just left the house, and she's gone back to her bower, her little hidey spot in the blackberry brambles behind the house. So that's where we're going to pick up from here. All right? Okay, so chapter 3, A Mysterious Invader. Hannah settled into her small bower with her back up against the crumbling stump, dug her into her art bag, and pulled out a flashlight. Her hideaway was perfect in so many ways, small, dark, and cozy. It had only 2 problems: the snakes and the spiders that sometimes also liked to hide here, and the weirdos that sometimes hung out in the woods behind it. For the snakes and the spiders, she had a jar and a stick. For the weirdos, she just turned off her flashlight and froze like a statue. She rubbed at the blackberry scratch on her arm. The weirdos probably couldn't get through the brambles from that side. She'd only seen 2 so far this year, but it still creeped her out. Hannah took a deep breath and flipped on the flashlight. Inch by inch, she searched the woven branches for 8-legged friends. She knocked one into her jar. The other one got away. No snakes this time. Snakes learned faster than spiders. Hannah twisted around to inspect her seat on the stump. She froze. Cautiously, she set down her jar and her stick and turned around on her toes. Someone has been in here! On the sides of the little seat she had chipped out of the stump, someone had tied 2 bouquets of bright red poppies. Gingerly, she touched the fuzzy, prickly stems. He does not get to come in here. This is my place. She reached out to rip the flowers down and then snatched her hand back. What if it wasn't Cam who put them here? What if Diana or Clark put them in here? Did they know about her secret place? What if it wasn't any of them? What if it was one of the weirdos? What if one of them had seen her in here? These flowers weren't wilty from the 95-degree heat this morning before the storm had started drifting down the hills. Hannah pushed a hand against her chest to shush her fast-beating heart. She took off her art bag, switched off her flashlight, and covered up the last of her PB and honey. She would go, and she would ask. Sitting here and being scared was silly. This was her special place. She wasn't going to let it be ruined like this. Maybe her friends just meant it as a gift. Maybe that's all it was. A gift. Because our brother Cam sure as heck wouldn't put flowers in here. Hannah pushed her way back out of the bower. She came nose to whiskers with Lion Kitty. He was not pleased. Meow! I'll be right back. I just need to check and make sure. Excuse me. Lion Kitty did not move. Hannah ground her teeth in frustration. She knew Lion Kitty didn't like to be petted, and she was trying to be nice, but excuse me, Lion Kitty, I'm getting out. The huge orange Tom sat down and stared at her, totally offended. Seriously? Well, keep your claws to yourself, mister, 'cause you are not keeping me in here. And with that fair warning, she pushed herself right out over the top of him. Meow! He scolded. I'll just be a second, she replied, squeezing her back where the blackberries had gotten her. Mindful of the tiny creatures who would be after her PB and honey and that ring of chocolate chips she had saved for last, Hannah hurried through the neighbor's back gate and up to their sliding glass back door. She saw Diana and Clark wandering through the living room and the kitchen, calling for Bruce, their kitty. She had a bad feeling Bruce wasn't in the house to answer. He'd been in the after-school honor guard. Uh-oh, she whispered to herself, and the guilty feeling came back. Biting her lip, she rapped on the door. Clark ran over to open it. Clark Talwar was a year older than her. Diana Talwar was a year older than Cameron. She would be the first of them to head off to middle school next year. Diana always wore glasses and a bun just like Wonder Woman when she was pretending to be a real person, or a regular person. Clark wore his hair gelled and spiky and was way better looking than Superman when he was pretending to be a regular person. Not that that was the reason she got nervous when he was around. She could still nail him with a water gun if she had to. "What's going on, Handstand? We're kind of busy right now." Hannah stopped herself from scowling at him. Did everyone have to have a stupid rhyme for her name? "I just had a question. Have you guys been in the backwoods today?" "Dude, we've been in school and then we came home to find that Bruce has disappeared." "Children, do not hold the door open," Apsala hollered at them from the kitchen. "Hannah, please come inside. We cannot find our cat. Perhaps you have seen him?" As ordered, Hannah stepped inside and peered around herself for the millionth time at Diana and Clark's dad's ever-growing collection of superhero pictures and statues and stuff. Her own mother couldn't believe Apsara let Ravi plaster the house with that junk. Her own dad couldn't believe Apsara let Ravi name their kids after action figures. Hannah just thought it was cool. She spotted a new Wonder Woman pencil drawing on the wall next to her and wandered over to it to study the shading. She paused in answering Apsara's question, wondering how ridiculous the Kitty Honor Guard would sound to someone who hadn't seen it. Grown-ups had a funny way of thinking you were lying if things didn't sound just right to their ears. Suddenly, the most horrible screech came from the back door where she had just been standing. All four of them ran to the door. There was Bruce, his lean, solid black body pacing back and forth in front of the door. He raised up on his black legs and ran his claws down the glass. Clark unlocked the door. Bruce bounded straight for Hannah and let out the worst caterwaul she had ever heard. Hannah clasped her hands over her ears and squeezed her eyes shut. The scream ended and Hannah carefully peeked down at him. "Holy cow, Bruce, be nice," Diana said, reaching for him. Bruce dodged her grasp and Diana tumbled into her mother. Hannah turned with the cat and found herself being backed toward the open door. She caught the door frame as she stepped back down onto the porch. Bruce stopped at the doorway. "Frau," he said, this time with a much gentler voice. "Frau to you too," Hannah replied. "Hannah, I am so sorry for our cat's very poor manners." Again, Apsara looked appalled. Hannah just shook her head. She reached down and let Bruce sniff her hand. He gave her hand a little headbutt and she scratched him behind the ear. "It's all right," she said. "He just knows I have somewhere I need to go. See you guys later." Diana succeeded in scooping up her cat this time and held him tight, looking strangely like her mother during the purse episode after school. Clark stood holding the door and looked at her funny. What should she possibly say? He didn't know how completely weird her day had already been. So Hannah just smiled at him and left to keep her promise. So that's the end of chapter 3, and hopefully we can get together soon and share some more story. We'll move on to chapter 4, and I hope you guys are taking care and staying safe, and we'll spend more time together soon. Bye-bye for now.